You have tried to fit in, but something in you simply won't allow it. It's as if there is a silent truth inside you, a perception that no one taught you. But it has always been with you. You feel what others ignore. You see what no one comments on. And you carry scars that have shaped you, not destroyed you. While many live on autopilot, you live alert. Not out of fear, but because your soul picks up signals that others don't notice. Intuitions, discomforts, premonitions. All of this accompanies you as reminders that you didn't come to this world by chance. You were sent, prepared. And what you have gone through up to this point was not punishment. It was shaping. There are people who were born with a sensitivity that cannot be learned, who have gone through deep pains, lonely crises, and silent fresh starts. And still, they stand strong. This is not a coincidence. It's a mark. These are people who carry a different frequency, a mission that is not always explained, but that screams inside. You are a chosen one. Chosen ones do not live to impress. They live to transform. They are targets. They are mirrors. They are beacons. And for that reason they disturb. Their energy reveals. Their silence weighs. Their presence activates what others want to hide. And if you identify with this, keep going. Today you will discover the 5 marks that reveal who you really are. And if something inside you understood every word effortlessly, then do what needs to be done. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell now. Here, the messages are not for everyone. They are for those who carry the invisible as truth. This channel is a meeting point for those who have understood that they are not alone, and never were. Mark 1. You go through storms and emerge stronger than you entered. There are moments in life when everything seems to want to push you to the ground. Situations that come like storms, knocking down certainties, relationships, even your faith. And for some reason, even when no one expected it, you got up. Not just standing, but different. More lucid, stronger, clearer about who you are. While many crumble under the weight of their own problems, you have gone through pains that you can't even explain. Silent crises. Nights when you thought you wouldn't be able to hold on. Losses that tore parts of you away. Betrayals that left invisible scars. But even with all of this, something in you refused to be defeated. It's not that you didn't suffer. You suffered. A lot. The difference is that instead of hiding inside the pain, you went through it. You felt every part. You cried where you needed to. And gradually, you started to rebuild yourself. A new version of yourself began to emerge after each fall. You became someone who disturbs precisely because you have already seen the worst and didn't get lost. While many live trying to appear strong, you carry a silent strength, a strength that doesn't need to prove itself. Because only those who go through fire understand the value of calm. Only those who almost drown know the real weight of air. This strength didn't come from books or motivational quotes. It came from your scars, from everything they tried to take away from you. And yet you stayed. You stayed when others would have given up. You stayed when even you doubted you would manage. This permanence is not just any resistance. It's a spiritual mark. You were trained in a battlefield, and that's why today you feel a greater responsibility. Something in you knows that all these experiences were not in vain, that these pains are not just sad stories. They are sacred material. They shaped you for something that perhaps even you cannot name yet. Many people look at you and see only who you are now. But only you know how much you needed to die inside and be reborn. Many times, in silence, without an audience, without applause. Just you, God, and chaos. This journey is not common, and it has prepared you for things that other people could not carry. The truth is that the chosen do not live a comfortable life. They live a life that requires awareness, growth, that demands, but also reveals. Each pain delivered you something. Each fall showed you someone you were and didn't know. And each return was firmer, more centered, more real. You didn't become strong because you wanted to be strong. You became strong because you had no other choice. You either learned to get up or got lost. And you chose to get up. Always. Even tired. Even hurt. Even without understanding why you were going through all of that. This is the mark of someone who is not guided merely by logic, but by a calling, a purpose hidden within the pain itself. That's why you shine when they try to extinguish you. Because your light doesn't come from outside. It comes from what you have already survived. And now, each step you take carries more weight, more purpose. Because you carry the memory of everything you overcame. You carry the truth of who has gone to the bottom and returned with wisdom, and that no one can take away. Neither time, nor pain, nor those who tried to see you fall. This is the first mark of the chosen. It's not about winning all the time, but about coming back, with more presence, with more clarity, with a light that only exists in those who have known darkness and chose not to get lost in it. Mark 2. Your energy reveals and disturbs. You enter a space, and something changes in the air. Sometimes no one says anything, but the looks speak. Some stare at you with admiration, others look away, as if your presence bothers them. It's not arrogance, nor judgment. It's that your energy arrives first. And when it arrives, the masks begin to fall. You don't need to speak loudly, assert yourself, or draw attention. Still, you do. Not out of vanity, but because there is something in you that activates reactions in people. And they are not neutral reactions. Either they approach wanting to understand, or they distance themselves, trying to protect themselves. Your mere presence exposes what many try to hide. Have you noticed that manipulative, false, or aggressive people avoid contact with you? They might even smile, but there's discomfort. It's as if something inside them knows that you see what others do not. You perceive intentions before words. You read what was not said. This happens because your energy acts as a mirror. It doesn't show who you are. It reveals who the other person is. And that is not always welcome. Many people are not prepared to see themselves with honesty. Your vibration awakens what they fear confronting. And because of this, many feel bothered. But this same energy also attracts. Wounded, confused, or healing people feel secure near you. Sometimes they share things with you that they don't tell anyone. They feel trust, even without knowing you deeply, because your presence emanates something rare, truth. And truth is a balm for those who are ready to heal. That's why your social life has never been common. Some love you deeply without knowing why. Others reject you for no reason, and many simply cannot ignore you. You do not provoke lukewarm reactions. Your energy stirs, awakens, uninstalls, takes people out of their comfort zones. It is light, and light reveals everything, even what is shadow. You have tried to adapt. You have tried to dim your shine so as not to disturb. You have thought that the problem was you, but it wasn't. What bothers others is not what you do. It is what you vibrate. It is what you represent. It is what your soul communicates without saying a word. And this silent communication cannot be controlled. It is natural. It is the sum of your consciousness, your experiences, your internal truth. You can try to disguise yourself on the outside, but inside, your frequency continues to speak. And those who are sensitive pick it up. Those who are not, react. It is not easy to carry this mark. Sometimes it brings loneliness. You feel that you don't fit into certain groups, that you have difficulty with superficial relationships, that many distance themselves for no clear reason. But in reality, it is protection. What does not vibrate at the same frequency cannot sustain itself close to you, and gradually you understand that you are not made to blend in with everything. You are made to be a point of light, and light does not compete. It simply shines. You did not come into this world to be popular. You came to be true. And where there is truth, there is impact, even in silence. This mark is subtle, but powerful. You may not even notice how much your presence affects people, but the effect is there. It is the kind of strength that does not need effort. It simply is. And only the chosen carry this intensity that reveals, filters, and transforms without needing to shout. Accepting this mark is accepting your role. Your mission is not to please. It is to awaken. And this, in itself, already makes you different. It already makes you necessary. It already makes you someone the world feels, even when it pretends not to see. Mark 3. You have had too many coincidences to be mere chance. There are things that no one taught you, but you always knew. Moments when a silent voice inside you warned you. It changed your path, prevented you from making a wrong decision, pulled you away from something dangerous. And only later did you understand. It was as if time had warned you in advance, and you listened. From a young age, you noticed that your mind worked differently. While others found it strange, you saw patterns. While they said it was just coincidence, you felt it was something more. Dreams that seemed like messages, premonitions that came true, a sixth sense that no one around you could explain. But you felt strong and clear. You have lived experiences that seemed surreal, dreams that became reality, feelings of déjà vu that paralyzed you for seconds, that impression that you were reliving something, even without having lived it. Encounters with people that felt ancient, as if you had already known each other from past lives. Situations that aligned perfectly, almost magically. You try to explain, but it's hard to put into words, because it doesn't have common logic. And because of that, you fall silent. You keep it to yourself. You even think you might be exaggerating. But then, once again, it happens. An intuition guides you. A sign manifests, and the chance repeats itself with such precision that you can no longer ignore it. This perception is spiritual. The chosen do not see only with their eyes, they feel with their souls. They receive information that comes from other planes, as if the universe were in constant dialogue with them. A dialogue made of images, sensations, meetings, loose words, and silent answers. Only those who live know. While many need to see to believe, the chosen believe to see. They do not demand proof, because the truth they feel inside is greater than any logical explanation. And this is what drives them with such firmness, even on uncertain paths. They trust the invisible, because they have already been guided by it many times. Maybe you grew up thinking that you were too sensitive, that you felt too much, that you made things up. But today you understand that this sensitivity was not weakness. It was a gift that protected you, directed you, and still alerts you about what no one perceives. And the more you respect that, the clearer everything becomes. The signs are everywhere, in the songs that play at the right moment, in the repeated numbers that appear when you are in doubt. In that phrase someone says out of nowhere, but that answers exactly what you were thinking. In the synchronicity of events that seem like little miracles disguised as routine, everything connects. And the strongest part, the more you awaken, the more this intensifies. You begin to hear with your body, to see with your heart. Your intuition becomes sharper, your spirit more alert. Situations that used to pass by unnoticed now carry messages. You learn to observe without hurry, and you understand that the invisible has always spoken. It just needed silence. This mark may isolate you a bit. Not everyone is ready for this kind of perception. Many find it strange, even ridiculous. But you do not need to convince anyone. Your life already confirms everything. The times you were saved, the decisions you made without knowing why, the connections that arose at the exact moment, are not coincidences. They are reminders of who you are. The spiritual world calls you all the time. And those who carry this mark need to learn to trust, even without proof, even without approval. Because this sensitivity is not meant to be understood by everyone. It is meant to be used wisely. It is a tool. It is a shield. It is a compass, and those who ignore it get lost. You were designed to feel beyond, to perceive what is not said, to translate what is hidden. And this is not madness. It is a mission for those who came to guide, to alert, to protect, including those who still do not see. You feel because you need to feel, because this is part of your task here. This mark does not appear in the eyes of others, but it reveals itself in the eyes within, and once awakened, it never turns off. Because when a chosen one recognizes their own spiritual sensitivity, they stop fleeing from themselves and begin to walk with purpose, even when everything seems uncertain around them. Mark 4. You awaken extreme reactions in people. You may have noticed that it's hard for anyone to feel neutral about you. Either people love you intensely, or they distance themselves as if they have been exposed. It is rare to cause indifference, and at first, this may even confuse you. But over time, you realize it's not what you do, it's what you vibrate. Your energy speaks before any word. It arrives first, it reveals, it touches. And not everyone is prepared for what it awakens. You have entered places where everything became lighter, or more tense. People approach wanting to vent, bare their souls, cry. Others look at you sideways, reject you without even knowing why. It's that your presence activates processes, and processes are uncomfortable. Many people live anesthetized, hiding behind emotional masks. When you appear, your essence confronts, unintentionally, without provoking. Just by being who you are. Your soul carries something too true for those used to the surface. You are not about lukewarm relationships. Your bonds are intense. Your affections are deep. Your conversations are real. This scares those who are not used to depth. Many prefer to step back. Not because you did something wrong, but because they cannot maintain their own character next to your truth. But there is another side. People with the same frequency recognize you from afar. Sometimes they can't explain it, but they feel it. The connection is immediate. You look at each other, and it seems you've known each other for years. Conversations flow effortlessly. Time stops. Topics arise. Trust grows in silence. It's soul speaking to soul. These encounters are rare but unforgettable, because your energy works like a radar. It filters out what doesn't serve. It repels what doesn't vibrate alike. It attracts what was already ready. It's not about quantity, it's about truth. You may have few people by your side, but they are real, and that is enough. You may have questioned, why do certain people distance themselves? Why do others get so close so quickly? Why does everything around you seem more intense? The answer lies in your nature. You did not come to be part of the noise. You came to activate awareness, and awareness demands confrontation. Your soul carries healing, but healing does not begin with relief. It begins with truth, with discomfort, with looking inward. And that is what you awaken in others. Some will thank you for it, others will flee. And both behaviors are part of your impact. It's not personal, it's spiritual. This may have left you confused for a while. Perhaps you tried to adapt, to lessen your intensity, to hide. But it didn't work, because you can't pretend to be light when you were born with depth. You were made to touch, transform, push souls closer to themselves, even if they resist. Over time, you understand that the problem was never you. The problem was the expectation to be accepted by those who still cannot deal with your truth. And that's okay. You are not here to please. You are here to ignite light. And light, at times, bothers those who still live in the shadow. Your energy is like a mirror. Those at peace see themselves and smile. Those in conflict see themselves and are frightened. And this fright can turn into healing or escape. But the impact is there. You leave marks, even in brief encounters. You are remembered, even by those who pretend to forget. This mark is a constant reminder. Your presence is a tool. It serves a greater purpose. And the more you accept this, the clearer everything becomes. You stop seeking acceptance and begin seeking connection. You stop adapting and start positioning yourself. Because now you understand who you are and what you carry. Not everyone will endure, but those who stay are the ones who matter, because they also carry light. And when light meets light, there is no resistance. There is expansion. The chosen have this characteristic. They are not sustained by physical strength, but by a higher energy. A spiritual covering that cannot be seen, but can be felt, and that manifests in the darkest moments. When everything seems lost, something rises from within, and you move on, without fully understanding, but with conviction. This protection does not prevent you from feeling, but it stops evil from establishing itself. What they throw at you returns. Not because you desire revenge, but because what doesn't belong to your energy cannot sustain itself around you. Your vibrations expel what has no truth, and that is spiritual justice in action. Those who try to hit you today deal with the weight of what they launched, because everything sent with destructive intent returns to the point of origin. This is not superstition. It's a spiritual law, and the chosen live by this law, even without knowing it intellectually. They perceive the cycles closing, even without retaliating. You are proof that there is something greater sustaining you, because instead of breaking, you blossomed. Instead of giving up, you renewed yourself. The situations that had everything to paralyze you became your greatest sources of strength. You are forged in pain, but guided by faith. That's why nothing fully stops you. Your silence was your response, your evolution was your revenge, and your peace is the greatest evidence that no spiritual or emotional weapon had a real effect on you. Those who saw you from the outside didn't understand. Those who saw you from the inside learned. You were wounded, but not defeated. This mark reveals something that only the chosen comprehend. It's not about escaping pain. It's about not allowing it to define you. The attacks did not stop your mission. They only confirmed that it exists. Because no one tries to destroy what does not threaten the system. And your light disturbs because it exposes what needs to fall. You have been guarded, and you will continue to be. Not by luck, but by purpose. The protection that surrounds you comes from the strength of your mission. Every time they try to diminish you, they end up strengthening what sustains you, because everything they throw against you ends up serving your growth. Those who carry this mark understand. They know that the battle is real, but that the victory is already written. And when they understand this, they stop fighting with human weapons and begin to walk with the awareness of who they are. Because no attack lasts long when the target is someone who was born to fulfill something greater. Do not doubt who you are anymore. You felt it, not just heard or read. You felt it. That's enough to understand that these marks are not just beautiful words. They are mirrors. They reflect parts of your journey that you tried to ignore, hide, or explain. But now you know. Everything you have lived has a purpose, and it is not small. The pain that seemed unfair, the loneliness that surrounded you, the feeling of being too different, too sensitive, too intense. All of this brought you here. You did not go through this for nothing. You were shaped by something greater, not to become someone perfect, but someone awakened, someone who carries awareness where many still live asleep. The chosen are not those who speak the loudest, nor those who stand out by appearance. They are the ones who remain standing, even when no one else sees. Those who see in the invisible, feel in the silence, and intuit what has not yet happened. They live between worlds, and that's why they don't fit into any of them completely. Maybe you have tried to escape all of this, to pretend that you didn't feel, that it was just coincidence, that it was an exaggeration. But something always pulled you back. There was always a sign, a repetition, a discreet call reminding you. You were set apart, not rejected. You were prepared, not punished. Now is the time to accept what you are, to stop diminishing yourself to fit into places that do not belong to you. Your presence transforms, your energy teaches, your story carries wisdom. And all of this needs to be set in motion. Your truth is not a burden, it is a mission. If any of these marks spoke to you, comment, "I carry this truth." Write it as a signal that you are waking up, and share it with those you feel were also born with that something extra. The chosen do not recognize each other by appearance. They recognize each other by their vibration. And together, awake, they illuminate the path.